morning, and welcome to Housing and Urban Development's fifth annual Service Disabled Veteran Owned Small Business Outreach event. My name is Ursula McClendon, and I'm currently on detail with HUD's Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, or OSDBU for short. Like many of you, I too am a service disabled veteran. The highlight of my entire detail here in OSDBU has been planning this event for all of you. I tried to be very mindful and intentional about the content of today's presentations. I hope you will find this outreach event beneficial and the information valuable for the enhancement of your business. We take great pride in knowing that we may have been the extra boost of confidence or information needed to get your business to the next level and well suited to pursue contracting opportunities here at HUD. We have an outstanding lineup of presenters for you this morning, and they are just chomping at the bit to provide you with more details on their specific areas of expertise. There will be a lot of information presented in a short period of time. I know you will have questions and lots of them. That being said, we welcome and encourage questions from all of you. We want to make sure that you leave this event with no unanswered questions or misunderstandings. My colleagues in OSDBU are standing by, ready and willing to answer any questions you might have in our live chat. And now, with over 25 years of federal service and small business advocacy, and as the principal advocate for utilizing small and disadvantaged businesses in federal contracting to achieve presidential and cabinet level missions, I'd like to introduce Jean Powell, my director, the Director of Housing and Urban Development's Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. Jean, over to you.
Good morning and welcome to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development's 5th Annual Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Vendor Outreach event. Let me start by thanking the veterans participating in today's event. More importantly, thank you for your service and dedication to our country. I am Jean Lynn Powell. I am the Director for the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. The mission of OSDBU is to provide maximum practical opportunities for small businesses to participate in HUD's acquisitions. We make it our business to ensure your business has the necessary information to do business here at the department. OSDBU provides information about upcoming contracting opportunities through HUD's forecast. We can review your firm's capability statements to determine what program office best fits with your business. And most importantly, we can help you connect with the program office buyers. Do keep in mind, though, that HUD program offices are the end user of your product or service, so technical conversations are best reserved for the program offices you connect with. We have a distinguished panel of speakers lined up for you today, including HUD leaders, our colleagues from the Small Business Administration, and the DC Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Grab your notepads and tablets because the information provided today will assist you with navigating the federal procurement marketplace, as well as doing business with HUD. So without further ado, I'm so honored to introduce our next speaker, Deputy Secretary Adrian Todman. Prior to confirmation, Deputy Secretary Todman served as the CEO of the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. And before NARO, she served as the Executive Director of the DC Housing Authority. This is her second tour at HUD, having previously served in several career positions. Deputy Secretary Todman was confirmed on June 10th, 2021, as the 12th Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. In this capacity, Deputy Secretary Todman managed the day-to-day operations at HUD and advises and assists the Secretary in leading the department's employees. She is also a strong champion of small business utilization at HUD. Deputy Secretary Todman has dedicated her career to improving people's lives and strengthening communities through housing. Madam Deputy Secretary, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, and good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be a part of HUD's fifth annual Service Disabled Veteran Owned Small Business Outreach event to champion small business utilization here at HUD. On behalf of Secretary Fudge and myself, I'd like to say welcome to everyone who is participating today. I would also like to give a very special welcome to all the veterans who have joined us. Thank you for your service. President Biden is committed to providing resources and fostering the growth of small businesses, especially those that have historically faced barriers. We recognize that small businesses are the driving force behind our nation's economy. As the largest consumer of goods and services in the world, the federal government has the power to advance equity. This webinar and the matchmaking event serve as direct ways in which HUD is exercising its role in this area, in this case, by providing access to information. Small businesses, including service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, have been absolutely critical to our country's economic strength. HUD's mission is to create strong, sustainable, inclusive communities and quality, affordable homes for all. Our mission cannot be realized without the job creation and growth presented by economic development opportunities and investments in communities due to the commitment and drive of entrepreneurs just like you here today. HUD's program offices and the whole department continue to benefit from the unique skill set and expertise that is brought by veteran businesses from every branch of service. As you well know, federal procurement services are a powerful tool to support small business growth and build generational wealth throughout our country. Additionally, the President's management agenda recognizes that improvements in the federal acquisition system can create opportunities that lead to a more equitable economy. The administration's Day 1 executive order on racial equity directed agencies to make contracting opportunities more readily available to all those who are eligible and remove barriers faced by individuals in underserved communities. At HUD, we are committed to taking concrete steps to meet our small business goals in 2022 and to help achieve these priorities. HUD encourages your participation as service-disabled, veteran-owned small businesses in honoring the President's commitment and meeting the Department's mission as well as small business goals. As you continue to strive to build your business, join HUD for additional vendor outreach sessions to learn more about how to do business with the Department. Once again, thank you for all you do, and thank you for joining us today.
Now, I'd like to introduce Jimmy Fleming Scott. The Ostaboo office works in very close partnership with the Office of the Chief Procurement Officer. Without the leadership and steadfast commitment of this office, HUD would not be able to achieve and exceed its small business goals. So we are so fortunate to have with us today Mr. Jimmy Fleming Scott, HUD's Chief Procurement Officer. Jimmy, over to you.
I am Jimmy Fleming Scott, the Chief Procurement Officer for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. To all the servicemen and women attending today, here at HUD, we salute you for all you have done for our country. First, I'd like to start by acknowledging Elizabeth DeLeon Bargava, Assistant Secretary for the Office of Administration and HUD's new Chief Acquisition Officer. I would also like to take the time to recognize Secretary Marcia Fudge for her exceptional vision and solid strategic goals to increase the number of small and disadvantaged business contracts awarded throughout HUD. The fact that we are conducting similar events throughout HUD's regional and field offices this fiscal year is yet another example of how her guidance and direction is filtering throughout our department. So thank you, Secretary Fudge. HUD's Equity Action Plan, which was developed in collaboration with representatives across the department, magnifies our commitment in this area. The plan outlines the administration's efforts in sustaining, building, and retaining individual and community wealth by widening the base of small and local businesses in HUD's procurement portfolio. As such, HUD will continue to improve and enhance the efforts to help equip veteran-owned businesses with the tools and access to participate in federal contract opportunities. With that said, so what does innovation look like in the procurement space? For HUD currently, that falls into two areas. First, technology that enables the execution and tracking of the portfolio, and most important to you is the way we go to market. HUD is actively working to improve its acquisition systems to better inform management decisions and business processes associated with our procurement program. Additionally, we are looking at the way we go to market for the contracted support the agency needs to meet mission. How so? Well, as many of you probably already have seen, the landscape of how the government as a whole goes to market has been changing for years. As one of the biggest purchasers of goods and services, and arguably the biggest, the government has been strategically looking at its buying strategies. This is evidenced by the number of strategic source vehicles, new government-wide acquisition contracts, multiple award contracts, and the revamping of GSA schedules, not to mention the best-in-class vehicles on the market today. Some would argue that these are making it difficult for small business and new entrants to compete in the market because it creates less opportunities to win new engagements. I say not so. The pie isn't getting smaller, and in fact, it's getting larger. The government is spending more money, including HUD, on contracted services than ever before. But so are the pieces of the pie. You and all small business owners, business development leads, and marketing strategists are brilliant at adapting to the changing environment and developing ways to pursue and win new awards. I know this is the case because you're here. Those who could not adapt or refuse to change at the speed of the marketplace are no longer in business. So take pride in the fact that you are still here. It means you are the best. HUD too is looking more strategically at its portfolio and creating enterprise-wide vehicles for some of HUD's unique requirements like asset inspection services and research studies. While there has not been wholesale acquisition reform in the procurement space for 3 decades, we are having to find new ways to procure goods and services faster in order to keep pace with the speed of operations. I challenge you, whether it is for engagements here at HUD or anywhere else, to simply pay attention, adapt to the market, and thrive. What we need from you is great partnership. As our industry partners, we look to you to bring the best the market has to bear on our requirements. We look to you to push the envelope and bring innovation and leading-edge solutions to the mission of HUD. Lastly, we need you to help us get it right. Through the exchanges with our many programs, acquisition experts, and other industry colleagues, let us know how and where there are opportunities to make the delivery of HUD's programs better. You, our industry partners, are a vital part to our HUD team. In closing, I'd like to say again, not only to our service-disabled veterans, but all veterans, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. To everyone in attendance, thank you for your time and attention. I look forward to continued engagement with you around HUD's mission, and I appreciate you for your interest in supporting and doing business with HUD. Now I'd like to introduce to some and present to others our friend and colleague, the Associate Administrator of the Small Business Administration's Office of Veterans Development, Mr. Larry Stubblefield.
Good day. I'm Larry Stubblefield, and I am the Associate Administrator in SBA's Office of Veterans Business Development. It gives me great pleasure to join you today to discuss and give you an update on the transfer of VA Center for Verification and Evaluation to the Small Business Administration. By way of background, let me just talk about where we are today. So currently, veteran small businesses can compete for set-aside contracts at the VA through the Veterans First Contracting Program. Businesses must be verified as a VOSB or a SDVOSB to participate and must receive their verification through VA Center for Verification and Evaluation. In addition, all across the rest of the federal government, SDVOSBs can self-certify through SAM.gov and will be eligible to compete for set-aside contracts at most federal agencies. But VA does not recognize service-disabled veteran-owned small business self-certifications. Now, this is about to change, and how it's going to change is a result of the National Defense Authorization Act of 2021, which officially requires CVE's responsibilities to be transferred to the SBA as of 1 January 2023. So what does this mean? It means, in the end, after the transfer, SBA will be a one-stop shop for certification and contracting support for all veteran-owned small businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. So we will have at SBA the 8A program, HubZone, the Women-Owned Small Business Program, and finally the Service-Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Program. So what does this mean for VOSBs and SDVOSBs? If you are a VOSB or SDVOSB and your certification is within 120 days of your recertification, we are asking you to reach out to the VA and start the recertification process now. Do not worry that if you recertify at VA that you'll have to recertify at SBA. That is not the case. Your certification status will transfer to the SBA. If you are a veteran-owned small business or a disabled veteran-owned small business certified through the VA, and say, for example, you certified in 2021 and you're not up for recertification because the certification period is for 3 years, meaning your recertification would occur in 2024, there's absolutely nothing at all for you to do right now. Your status will transfer over to the SBA. And then finally, if you're a self-certified SDVOSB, you need to become certified if you want to do contracting business with the federal government. So you should consider reaching out to the VA and starting the certification process now. Again, if you get certified through the VA, your status will transfer over to SBA upon the transfer, and there's nothing for you to worry about. There will be a 1-year grace period from 1 January 2023 to 1 January 2024 for you to get certified. And during that grace period, you can still keep your self-certification status and compete for government contracting. But come 1 January 2024, self-certification will go by the wayside. So there's more information available on our website, but what I would really like to point you to your attention to is that second bullet. So if you have questions about the transfer, we have established an email mailbox. It's cvetransfer@sba.gov. You can ask questions, and you can also sign up for our mailing list. We are sending out a monthly update to everyone on our mailing list, so I would urge you to take advantage of the cvetransfer@sba.gov email box. We are also seeking public comment on the SBA proposed rule. It is out as we presently speak for the public comment period. All comments are to be submitted by the 5th of August 2022. So please go to the Federal Register and look for our rule, the Veteran-Owned Small Business and Service-Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business certification. And then finally, on the last slide, again, questions. And if you want to be on our mailing list, again, CVE transfer at sba.gov, or you can contact your local SBA district office for more information on the transfer. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you, Larry, for the update from the SBA on veteran certifications. Our final speaker today is Milton Goodman. Mr. Goodman is currently the program manager for the DC Procurement Technical Assistance Center. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial Engineering from Norfolk State University and is certified as a Dale Carnegie Effective Speaker, as well as a Certified Human Relations Professional from the University of Virginia Darden Graduate School of Business Administration. Please help me welcome Mr. Milton Goodman.
Good morning. This is a DSLBD DC PTAC service overview. And my name is Milton Goodman. And the actual presentation this morning is from the Department of Small and Local Business Development, DC PTAC. And I wanted to make sure that everyone understood the actual mission of the Department of Small and Local Business Development. We're here to support the development, economic growth, and retention of district-based businesses and promote economic development throughout the district's corridor. And one of the actual divisions of the Department of Small and Local Business Development is the DC PTAC, which stands for the DC Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Again, I'm Milton Goodman, and I'm the program manager for the DC PTAC. And this morning, we want to make sure that we reveal to you some of the service offerings of this particular division. The DC PTAC offers District of Columbia-based businesses personalized counseling and competitive insight for navigating the government procurement process successfully. Some of the PTAC values for small businesses lends itself to a no-cost advisory service arm to government contractors. We also assist with contract and acquisition ruling. Oftentimes, small businesses may not totally understand what the directions are as it relates to the rules and regulations of doing business with government agencies. We assist with strategy for better contract positioning, making sure that you approach the opportunity with the best possible directions as it relates to the strength that you bring to the table as a small business. And through that, we do a lot of one-on-one counseling for our focused business approach when it comes to our clients, which is the small business. We assist in identifying their value proposition. The value proposition is very, very important when you're talking to potential government agencies, because you want to make sure your conversation is as piercing as possible. So, and for that, we're going to provide navigation and instructions toward contract opportunities as well. Some of the service offerings lend itself, as far as the PTAC is concerned, it lends itself to outreach, education, certification and certification assistance, marketing, pre-contract management, and post-contract management. From an outreach perspective, the PTAC gets involved in doing matchmaking events, making sure that we can connect small businesses with agency points of reference for business opportunities. We also do PTAC presentations, such as the one that I'm doing this morning. And we also work with federal as well as state and local agencies for within their forecast outreach sessions. From an educational perspective, we do a lot of training workshops for our clients. Information sessions and meet and greet sessions also are involved. And prior to the pandemic, we used to do these in person, but most of the activity at this point in time is done via virtually and webinars. Now, the PTAC also gets involved in certification assistance. For example, the VA, Veterans Affairs, they have what they call a Center for Verification and Evaluation CERT, which the PTAC is here to support our small business clients when they are trying to qualify for that particular cert. We work with them doing their fact-finding missions and work with them along the way, along with the VA, to make certain that they meet the demands relative to that particular certification. We also work with the SBA. SBA has a couple of expeditious procurement vehicles, one in itself being the 8A certification. We assist our small business clients and with respect to working with the SBA and acquiring that 8A certification. We work with the SBA also with respect to the service disabled veteran-owned business status and the veteran-owned business status. A lot of our clients are veterans, so they want to make sure that they are equipped with that cert from the SBA as well. Now, the SBA also has an economic development women-owned small business cert. We assist our small businesses who qualify for that particular certification and acquiring that with the SBA as well. We also get involved in supporting Hub Zone activity and the Hub Zone status with the SBA. And most of all small businesses doing business with the federal government should be entering their profile in the Systems for Award Management repository. The PTAC works very diligently to support small businesses in making sure that their profile is done correctly and making sure that the information that they have in their SAM repository, it's up to date and it clearly shows value so that the agency points of reference can gain access to the government contractors based on the skill sets and core competencies that they are seeking. Now, the PTAC also works with the SBA when it comes to the mentor protege initiatives. And if you're involved in a particular relationship with companies who like to create a mentor protege relationship with you, the small business, we will give you direction relative to that process as well. Now, for our clients, we do the market research. We also have a bid matching process that we can work with them on, as well as assisting them with their marketing plan. We're not going to do the plan for you, but we will work with you and making sure that your plan is clear, make sure it has a direction, and make sure that it says exactly what you are trying to identify as relates to the strengths of your business and the pursuit of work that you're after. We help you with GSA schedules, working very closely with the General Services Administration. And we also work and have strategic partnerships developed for our small business, and we get involved in training and as far as that direction is concerned as well. There are oftentimes our small business clients may not know totally what to do when it comes to pre-contract management prior to a particular award or solicitation. The PTAC is here for you to bounce ideas off of it and help you clearly understand how you want to tell your story when it comes to responding to solicitations. Now, while we will not do the proposal for you, we are here and we're available so that you might be able to tell your story and somebody to review it prior to the time that you submit your proposal to the federal government or state and local government. And when you are successful with a contract award, we're here also to support you with respect to understanding the necessary work breakdown structures of your contract, making sure you're in compliance with your contract, and just actually help you review the exact processes that you're going to have to move forward on once the award takes place, because you really don't want to waste a lot of time, especially yours as well as your customer. In this particular case, it could be either the federal government or state and local government. Now, how we actually get involved with the service community and supporting the small business in that particular area, the very first thing we do when it comes to our process is that we introduce our services, just as I'm talking to you about them today. We find out exactly where they are by assessing the small business to see exactly where they are with respect to procurement readiness. And at that time, we make sure we create a strategy or identify some acquisition strategy so that they can use to begin the process of pursuing work. Now, obviously, you got to prepare for it and you have to plan for your work, because the government contracting is not an easy task. You just can't jump in and expect to be awarded business. You got to prepare, and you have to plan based on where you're going to be researching your work and based on where you're going to be looking for business. And then once you properly position yourself with a particular agency, you work to pursue the particular work, and don't try to pursue it all at one time. Your planning and your prepping or preparing is for the purpose of making sure that you have a targeted approach toward pursuing a government agency. We want to make sure you understand when your whole acquisition and proposal strategy, understand the rules and regulations. And if you got to do some preliminary bid matching services prior to your proposal strategy is created, we have that activity available for our clients as well. And like I had mentioned before, from marketing plan perspective and proposal assistance perspective, we will evaluate those and help you assess those as you create them. Post-contract award assistance when it comes to contract management assistance and process and performance management assistance, the PTAC is here to assist you in that area as well. How the PTAC supports government agencies? We partner with government agencies for joint outreach events, as I mentioned before, to promote agency small business initiatives. We also assist businesses in understanding complex government standards and contract requirements, because a lot of times solicitations may be read by that small business and it may not have a clear understanding as what the requests are as it relates to the government. The PTAC works right alongside our clients to make sure that there's a clear understanding of your reading and a clear understanding of the ask when it comes to your government client. How PTACs work with prime contractors. Oftentimes, prime contractors are looking for quality subcontractors. So we assist in the subcontracting plan. If a prime comes to us and they are seeking a quality subcontractor, we will be able to match them properly based on the core competencies that the subcontractors possess, as well as some of the initial information that's shared by the prime, so that we might be able to effectively create a connect when it comes to a small business subcontractor to a major prime. We help primes also to interpret complex government standards and contract requirements for subcontracting. Now, we also assist in identifying qualified small businesses to meet these social economic goals, because oftentimes there is clearly a clause in prime contract functions that they have to have participation with respect to small businesses as it relates to the economic and social disadvantage arrangement or social status. We also collaborate with the primes and government agencies on mentor protege initiatives. Now, I wanted to make sure that I brought to you the various tools for contracting success, because as a small business, you not only have to have a good handle on what you do and you do well, but you got to make sure that your marketing tools are in place and you understand the flow of direction and know that whomever you're speaking with in the government arena, they don't have a lot of time. So you got to be piercing with your conversation. That's why I encourage all small businesses to make sure you have a clear and precise business card, one that's got have a meaning, and make sure everything is on your business card that needs to be there, like an address and like a phone number and a website, as well as an email address. And I also suggest that if in the event that you have a business card and on the back of that business card, you place your North American industrial classification codes, the NAICE codes. Place those that are on the back of your card and those that are also listed as your key NAICE codes in the System for Award Management database. Have an elevator pitch. That elevator pitch is precise. It doesn't take a long time to really present, if you will. If it can be a one-sentence elevator pitch, then that's fantastic. But if you need to make sure you have a couple of more sentences, if you will, to get your point across, do so. But remember, it should only take just a few seconds to make sure you convey that to whomever you're speaking with so that you can get right to the meat of the matter. All small businesses doing business in the government arena should have capability statements. That capability statement realistically should be about an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper detailing the NAICE codes, detailing your business discriminators, detailing also your core competency. And if you have quality past performance, you should have that as well, meaningful to the federal government arena as well as the state and local government. Also, a website should be there, and you should have one of those. We can assist you with respect to, again, making sure your profile is correct in the System for Award Management database. And also a social media awareness and social media presence is needed from a marketing perspective as well. And the SBA also has a dynamic small business search that we can assist you with as it relates to understanding how to use that particular database and how your company should be housed in that particular database as well. Now, while we do market research for small businesses, I wanted to make sure I bring to your attention some of the websites that you should be familiar with when you are pursuing business in the federal space as well as the state and local space. Now, I'll start with dslbd.dc.gov because that, in fact, is the web address that the PTAC is hosted by, which is the Department of Small and Local Business Development. But if you go to that website, you can see a host of information as it relates to what the agency is all about, as well as how they function as a true advocate for small businesses in the District of Columbia government. The Office of Contracting and Procurement is ocp.dc.gov. That's where most of the forecasts and most of the opportunities are available in the District of Columbia government. Now, you also should understand the other various websites like the Federal Procurement Data Center.gov, FPDS. That's a federal government website that you should be familiar with. And as well as the other websites that you see here on this particular page. My suggestion is that you review them, become familiar with them, because each one of them has valuable data that you should be aware of when you're pursuing government contracting. Now, as far as the DCPTAC is concerned, this is the team currently that's in place for the DCPTAC, and they have various the numbers that you can contact us in the event that you are looking to become a client of the PTAC. The very first individual that I would contact is Ms. Michelle Harris, who is our intake coordinator. You'll see her email address and phone number at the base of this particular page. But in addition to myself being the program manager, I have 3 other counselors who are available to assist you when it comes to one-on-one counseling and advisory services as you become clients of the PTAC itself. And I sincerely hope that this information that I shared with you is valuable information, and please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we will be more than happy to support you as you pursue your federal contracting goals as well as your state and local contracting goals. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Ursula.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. You certainly have a lot going on at the DC PTAC. Hopefully, some of the attendees today will be able to take advantage of some of your programs at your center. At this time, I'd like to turn it back over to our director, Jean Powell, as we close the presentation component of our outreach event today and head into our matchmaking event. Jean, back to you.
Thank you, Ursula, and thank you to the entire OSDBU staff. My team is very dedicated, and I'd like to acknowledge all of their hard work for always delivering seamless, high-quality vendor outreach events. None of this would be possible without our partners in delivering the program. Jimmy, Larry, Milton, and of course, Deputy Secretary Todman, thank you for the valuable information all of you provided today. Also, I'm sending a special thank you to the program offices who are standing by and getting geared up for the exciting matchmaking event starting in a few minutes. In closing, I'd like to remind each of you to regularly check OSDBU's website for HUD's forecast of contracting opportunities. OSDBU values your feedback. We will be sending you a link to a survey after today's event. Please share your thoughts about how we can do a better job going forward. And please feel free to connect with those who have introduced themselves in the chat room. Our chat feature will remain open for networking opportunities for half hour after the conclusion of the program. There are 2 webinars that are upcoming. One is live chat with HUD's OSDBU. We will do a spotlight on the Community Compass Technical Assistance and Capacity Building Program. Small businesses are eligible to apply. This will occur on July 26th at 1 o'clock. And our second webinar is creating marketable capability statements. And this is part of our Small Disadvantaged Business webinar series. This program will be convened on August 9th, also at 1 o'clock. You can find registration details on OSDBU's webpage, www.hud.gov/small-business. Again, I hope that you have a successful matchmaking session. Thank you again for joining us today. Stay safe and have a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you.